Okay.
All right, so we are going to do the area model for multiplying mixed numbers. So we're going to multiply 2 1/2 times 3 3/4. I'm going to draw my rectangle just like I do for any area model. And because multiplication is commutative, it doesn't matter which side we put the 2 1/2 and which side we put the 3 3/4. So I'm going to use my 2 1/2 over here and my 3 3/4 over here. Okay. I'm going to make my model just like the traditional area model, and then I have to multiply what's inside the boxes. What's outside the box and put the product inside. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3/4, I'll go over here and use my scratch paper. I already know that a whole number can be made into a fraction by putting it over 1, and then I multiply the numerators and the denominators. So 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 4 is 4. I can leave this as an improper fraction, or I can change it to a mixed number. So I would do 6 divided by 4. 4 times 1 gives me 4 with 2 left over. 1 2/4 or 1 1/2. So I could do either one here. Okay, then I have 3 times 1/2. Same thing, 3 over 1 is the same. So multiply my numerators, multiply the denominators. Can leave it as an improper fraction or change it to make it easier for me when I add later. 3 divided by 2. I have 1 with 1 left over, 1 1/2. Then I have my fractions to multiply. So I'm going to come down here and use my scratch paper. I multiply the numerators and the denominators. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. That's 3/8. Okay, now that I have all of my area model filled in, I now have to add all of the numbers inside the boxes. So my first box would be 6. My next one is 1 1/2. The next is 1 1/2. And the last is 3/8. So I'm going to go ahead and add my whole numbers. 6 plus 1 plus 1 gives me 8. And then I cannot add fractions with unlike denominators. I have to find a common denominator. We've learned how to do that. I know that 2 is divisible by 8, so 8 can be my least common denominator. 3/8 is equal to 3/8. What do I do to 2 to get to 8? I multiply it by 4, so I have to do that to the numerator as well. So I have 4/8, which makes sense because 4 is half of 8. So then I have to add all of my fractions here together. 4/8 plus 4/8 plus 3/8. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 eighths. 11/8 is an improper fraction, so I have to change it to a mixed number. 11/8. 11 divided by 8. 8 goes into 11 one time, and I have 3/8 left over. So now that I have my 1 3/8, that is not my final answer. I have to go back up and add it back to my whole number up here. So plus 1 3/8 gives me 9 3/8. 9 3/8 would be my answer for 2 1/2 times 3 3/4. Remember I said that to check your answer, you can also change these to improper fractions. If I wanted to change 2 1/2 and 3 3/4 to improper fractions, I know that 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5/2 times 3 times 4 is 12 plus 3 is 15 fourths. And then I have to multiply my numerators and my denominators. 5 times 15. That's going to be, if you're doing partial products, it would be 5 times 10, which is 50, and 5 times 5, which is 25. I add those together. That's 75. And I multiply the denominators. That's 2 times 4 is 8. Cannot leave it as an improper fraction, so I have to divide. 8 goes into 75 at least 8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. Might go one more time. You can go one more time. So I'm going to have to do 75 divided by 8. And 8 times 9 is 72. I have 3 8s left over. So you can see that my answer when I change it to an improper fraction is the same as my answer when I use the area model. And that's all.